Hey, hello. Are you one of those guys who wants to learn English? Are you one of those guys who always searches some content for learning English? Are you one of those guys who is curious to learn English but you are unable to understand from where you should begin? If you are one of those guys, that you are most welcome. And yes, one thing I would like to remind, you have reached at the right platform, and this is Genius English platform that is run by Mr. Aditya. So you all of you are once again most welcome. And this is Aditya and going to talk something about the beginner of English, about the beginning of English, about those guys who wants to begin this journey of English language. So let's have a look what is going to be happening. Yes. So my dear learners, today and at this moment I am going to talk about a single topic, a single point that is the major point of English journey. I think that still now you have understood about which thing I am going to talk. And if you have not understood, that I would like to remind you, in previous video I have suggested you about the four things and the four main sources of learning English, and that is LSWR. LSWR: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. So this moment I am going to suggest you one thing and only one thing, that is listening. So dear ladies and gentlemen, listening is a topic for today, and I am going to make you connect to some points of listening. First thing, that why is listening necessary for you? Dear, as I explained you in the last video about listening, that listening is a medium that expresses how we are going to be a listener, which type of a speaker we are going to be. If you are a good listener, that you can be a good speaker. Like we have been listening this thing since our childhood. If you are a good student, that you can be a good teacher. If you are a good conductor, you can be a good driver. If you are a good compounder, that you can be a good doctor. If you are a good nurse, that you can be a good doctor. So this moment, the things what I am going to suggest you, if you are going to be a good listener, that you can be a good speaker. Now let's talk about listening art. This is clear that listening is important for becoming a speaker. So some points I have: what to listen, how to listen, and when to listen. The 3 points I am going to deliver: what to listen, how to listen, and when to listen. So, my dear brothers and sisters, first thing, what to listen. Now, you might be confused or you might have some concern that what to listen. If we have to listen, that we can listen anything. No, my dear. If you are a beginner, if you are going to start a good journey of English, that you don't go to listen anything else, whatever you want. If you are a beginner, that only and only you have to watch that thing that can be easily understood by you. Because if some of the boring things, if some of the boring things you will listen, that you will not carry on your listening. In the midway, you will leave your listening. That is why I am going to suggest you this answer you must get, what to listen. So my dear learners, if we go through this passion, what to listen, that this is my heartly desire to recommend you listen some small story, listen some short story, and such type of a story that can be easily understood by you. And not only you listen one time or two times, you listen the same story various times. Many times you listen the same story, 5 times, 6 times, 10 times, until you understand completely that story. And in this way, you will be interested. You will be interested to listen, because this is not your language. I know very well. When you will begin to listen, that this type of mentality will come in your brain, this type of thought will come in your brain to leave listening. Because the things that we don't understand, we don't want to listen. That is why I am highly recommend you that you have to listen many times. Because after listening many times, you would be able to understand all the patterns and all the themes of that story. And in this way, you will be interested. You will be interested to listen. And this might be the good idea to become a good listener. And in the series of, in the list of what to listen, you can listen some of the cartoon. Listening and watching, both things you can do together. You can watch some of the English cartoon. You can watch some podcast like Tenali Rama, Akbar in Birbal, like this podcast you can watch. And these things will give a great stability in listening. So I hope that you got this great point. And the next point is how to listen. How to listen. One thing is or can move in your brain that you have to listen, that okay, that whenever I will get time that I will listen, or any time you will begin to listen. No, my dear, you have not to do this thing, because you are a new learner. You are the beginner of English language. So if you are a beginner of English language, that you have to focus how long you will listen. Only you have to concentrate your mind towards the voice, towards the activities of the speaker. That's mean you have to do like cock chesta. You have to focus like cock, crow. How a crow looks, his what, his aim, his goal. In the same way, you have to listen very carefully. And this way will make you understand the statement or the narration of the speaker. That is why I'm telling you, whenever you will go for listening, that you will not only fill up the column of listening, you will do your job from the heart, and you will be totally concentrated towards the activities, towards the physical action, towards the face expression, all the things you have to observe, all the things you have to notice. And in this way, you can be a good listener. And if you will be a good listener, then I'm sure, my dear, that you will be a good speaker. And the next thing, and the last point is when to listen. As I explained what to listen, how to listen, and this is the third point, when to listen. My dear, in the beginning, when you begin to learn something, when you begin to listen something, you might have to face lots and lots of problems. And actually you will not understand the things. That is why I'm going to suggest you to find out some time, to select some time when, where you live, where you survive your life. There when the environment becomes peaceful, like at present I'm making this content, and this moment this is absolutely a peaceful environment. This is night. It is about 9 or 10 o'clock, about 10 o'clock, and this moment all the people, all the things are in the bed, and this is the peaceful environment. And that is why you need to select a time, and if you are selecting a right time to listen, then I am sure of this thing, that once you will be a good listener, and also definitely you will become a good speaker. So my dear, I hope that you got lots and lots of things from my explanation in the second video. So that's all. Thank you. Bye bye.